Hi guys, and welcome back. Today I've got a great nighttime yoga that's only 25 minutes. It's going to release the tension you've built up throughout the day and get you ready for bed. So we're just going to start off in our virasana pose. We're flexing our toes and sitting on our heels and just trying to create a nice rhythm with our breath and trying to concentrate on this moment. And now let's just roll our shoulders back, really nice and big rolls, going all the way into our shoulders and back, opening up that chest. And now let's take it forward. And if at any moment the stretch is really hurting your feet, then please let go and just sit on your feet, the backs of your feet. And we're just going to grab our hands from behind, stretching the arms, opening up the chest, looking up, really stretching that chest. And we're slowly going to release the feet. And we're going to take this down, head on the ground, and just stretching our arms behind us. And just holding here. Increasing the stretch with each exhale. Feel the shoulders releasing. Feel the arms stretching. And let's slowly release the hands. And we're just going to come into our child's pose here. Now you can keep the arms outstretched in front of you, or you can bring them to your sides. You can also bring them above your head into prayers pose. You'll feel a little shoulder stretch when you do that. And you can also open up the knees here if you'd like, really wide. So if you have your arms in a different position, bring them out now, stretch them in front. And we're just slowly going to go to one side. You're going to feel this now more in your hip. And just hold here, nice deep breaths. And let's bring one hand and then the other hand to the other side, stretching those arms. Feeling that releasing stretch in the hips. A lot of us hold a lot of tension in our hips, so this is just a good and easy way to stretch that out. And let's release, and we'll come back to center for just a quick moment, just to center ourselves. And if your hips are really open, then bring them a little bit closer, bring the knees together. We're going to slide into a puppy pose, trying to get that chest down to the ground. To make this a little bit easier, you can have your forehead on the ground, or you can bring the head up and have your chin on the mat like I am. Then you're going to feel it more in your shoulders. And really making sure that you don't hold your breath here. I know it's a bit hard to breathe, but just do your best. Keep those hips up, chest down. And we're slowly going to release and lower down onto our stomach, dropping the head, bending the arms to our sides. We're just going to lift one leg, bending it, and bringing it over behind our back. And I'm just laying my head to the side, keeping those arms bent. Now you can keep the back foot flat on the ground like I'm doing, or you can be on your tippy toe. It's up to you what feels better. Good, nice deep breaths here. This is very intense in the shoulders. And let's slowly lift that top leg, keeping it bent, bringing it back, and stretching it. And we'll take this to the other side. So bend that leg, bring it around behind you, keeping those arms bent. Now you might feel that one side feels way more intense than the other. That's totally normal. We all have a more flexible side. For me, this side was really killing me, but I just tried to breathe through it. Try not to hold your breath in any of these poses. We want to send blood to our body, sending oxygen to all those stiff spots. And let's slowly release that leg, bringing it back, stretching it. And we'll bring our hands closer to our body, and we'll push up into our baby cobra, just lifting the head. And we're going to release and lift up into our full cobra. Good. Just really opening up that chest, looking up, feeling that spine stretch. Really trying to bring flexibility into that spine. Keep breathing. And let's just slowly release the head, and we'll bring our feet together and toes pointed. We'll lift up into our upward facing dog, and right away we're just going to drop one hip, looking over the shoulder on one side, really stretching the side body here, keeping those feet together. And let's come back to center, and we'll do the other side, feet together, looking over that shoulder, laying on that hip. And let's come back to center, lifting up into that upward facing dog, and we'll lift up and down into our downward facing dog. And we're just going to walk it out first, really nice and slow. So really holding here as we bend the leg. And the same thing on the other side. And we're just going to alternate from side to side, trying to push that heel down on the one side. Good. Keep going. Really trying to bring that upper body and the head down to the mat. Stretching those hands and the arms. Really feel this in your shoulders. And this is our last one. And let's bring both heels to the ground. Really trying to get that upper body down. If you can't bring the heels down, that's totally fine. Just try your best here. Good. And let's just take a nice exhale and lower down to our knees, coming onto all fours. And we're going to come for a nice cat and cow, so curling in the back and arching as we inhale. And let's exhale, curling into the back. And let's arch it, really looking up here. And let's curl into the back, feeling each point in your spine working here. And let's arch it. Good, and curl it in. Really relaxing our back here. Really bringing movement and mobility back into our spine and our lower back. And let's arch it one last time. And if you have your feet flexed, just release them now. And we're going to bring one leg forward, stretching the other as we release from this cat and cow. And I'm just wiggling around, trying to get in a nice comfy position. And I'm staying up with the body and slowly lowering down. Now I'm not really opening up my hip a lot here, but you are welcome to do so. You can bring it into a right angle if that feels right for you. We're just trying to stretch the hip a little bit just to release some tension in the hip and in the hip flexor. Really bringing your mind to this stretch, trying to block out anything that's taking your mind off from the present. And we'll slowly bring our hands back to our body, and we'll slowly lift up and out of this pigeon position. And we'll switch right away to the other side. And we'll stay up for a moment, lifting the chest and coming down. And once again, you're welcome to open that hip up even more, as much as you can. What's important is that you feel it in your outer hip and in the hip flexor, in the extended leg. Don't worry if you can't go all the way down, just go as far as you can. What's important is that we feel the benefits of this stretch. Wherever you are is where you're supposed to be. Just staying present in this moment, feeling the stretch, not letting any outside thoughts interrupt our practice. And now let's just lift our head. Coming up slowly, we'll release from this pigeon pose. And we're going to come back to our virasana pose, except we're not going to be sitting on our feet. Our feet are going to be outside of our hips on the mat, our knees turned in, hands on the knees, and we're just going to go back with the head and forward. Really opening up the chest here, shoulders down. And if this feels way too intense for your knees and you have a lot of pain, then please release and just come to the easier version of virasana by sitting on your feet or on your heels. Good, now let's just hold that head down, feeling the nice stretch in our neck and shoulders. And let's release the head up. We're going to bring our hands behind our butt and we're going to come for our reclined virasana, lowering down onto the elbows and then finally the back. Really feeling the stretch in your quads. Good. Keep holding. If you can't get down all the way, don't worry. You can even put a pillow under your back if it feels way too intense for your lower back. Just take this practice at your own pace. Take the adjustments you need to. Just hold here, try to relax, try to breathe through this whole pose. Don't hold your breath, don't tense up. And we'll slowly release our legs. And we're going to bring them hip width apart. And we're just going to take our knees to the side, creating a nice little twist. And the other side. And just back and forth, just to release the tension in the lower back. Good. Now just come back to center, and we're just gonna lift one knee. We're gonna hug it close to our chest, stretching the other leg. And we're gonna bring it over our body into a nice spinal twist. Shoulders on the ground. Don't worry if your knee cannot get all the way down. Head is in the opposite direction. And if you want, you can now stretch the leg, holding it with the hand. Or you can stay in the previous position if that feels too intense. Concentrating on this feeling and this twist in the spine, increasing flexibility. And let's slowly release the leg, come back to center, and we'll repeat the same thing on the other side. So hug that knee to the chest, and now bring it over to the other side. Head goes in the opposite direction. Remember, shoulders on the ground, and just try to relax here. Don't hold your breath or tense up. If at any moment it feels way too intense, then just release and come back when you're ready. You can stretch the leg now if that feels right for you. Just hold here. And if you have your legs stretched, doesn't really matter how you grab it. You can grab from the inside of the foot or with your 2-piece fingers around the big toe. Whatever feels better for you. Perfect, guys. Now release, come back to center, bending both knees now, hugging them close to the chest. And let's just stretch them, and you can grab on the outside, so with your 2-piece fingers around the toes. And we're just gonna come for our happy baby pose. Just hold here, trying to push those hips and knees to the floor. Don't mind me, I'm just laughing at my cat. Good, keep breathing. Now you can stay here, or you can add a little rock to this position. So just going side to side, really massaging the lower back now. Just have fun with it. Do what feels right for you. Good. Now if you are rocking, come back to center after this one. And just hold again for a moment. And we're just going to slowly release now, stretching the legs. And we're just going to swing them over our head into our plow position. Just touching the toes to the ground and grabbing my hands and just stretching them behind my body. Just holding here, really trying our best to keep a consistent breath here. I know it's hard when you have your whole legs and body over your lungs, but just keep trying. And if you feel lightheaded or anything, please release, come back when you're ready, or just skip this position. Good, just feel this stretch in your spine. We're gonna come for our shoulder stand, so grabbing your back with your hands, bending the elbows, and just slowly going up one leg at a time, and trying to tuck that butt under, trying to reach for the sky with our legs. You can point your toes here if that helps. just gonna slowly release. You can go 1 foot at a time or both feet together, and we're just gonna slowly release down vertebrae by vertebrae and all the way down with the legs. And we're gonna come for our fish pose, so hands behind your butt, and we're just going to lift our chest, lifting our head, looking back. Good, just really trying to open up that heart, opening the chest. Really nice arch in the back. And just feel this pose. You can close your eyes. I have my legs stretched and my toes pointed. If you want to point your toes, please go for it. And we're slowly gonna release, and by doing that we're just bringing our chin forward to our chest and lowering the back, and then releasing our hands, and we'll finally go to our final pose, our Savasana. And we're really just trying to focus on our breath here, letting the stomach and the lungs grow and fill up and then collapsing as we exhale. And just trying to relax each and every part of our body, starting with our toes and then our ankles, our shins, our knees, letting the thighs and the legs drop, our hips, and then our stomach, letting our chest fully relax, letting our fingers drop, letting them become heavy, then our wrists and our hands, up to our arms, and then our shoulders and our shoulder blades, our collarbone, relaxing our neck, and just making our way to our face, relaxing the jaw, relaxing our mouths. We really hold a lot of tension in our jaws. Sometimes we don't even know it. Just relaxing your eyes and just really feeling your eyes become heavy, and finally relaxing your forehead, and just come to this total relaxation in your whole body, focusing on the breath, focusing on the present, not letting any outside thoughts block you here. You are here right now, and just being grateful that you were able to do this practice today, that you were able to get on the mat, and be thankful that you got here to the end. And wherever you are, we're slowly going to bring ourselves back, slowly bring movement into our body by wiggling our toes and our hands. Taking nice, big, deep breaths here, and we're just gonna lift our arms behind our head and just slowly rolling up to one side, Coming to our easy pose. And just rolling our shoulders. We are finished for today. I hope you guys liked that little flow. And I wish you guys lots of love. And I'll see you guys next time.